So it was one of my first orientation meetings, this was at home because they have this program called Spark that's for Marquette students that basically gives a list of all the basics of what it's like to be a college student, but like from home. I do live on campus, but when I was at the orientation meeting, it was over the summer, so this was a much different experience. Now, they give a really weird statistic. They said that college students essentially spend, I think like 40 to 45 hours a week on their work. And I don't remember if it was like for a specific subject or grade level, but it was basically a full-time job, except college. And this really surprised me because I've been able to get by with not that many hours a week. I mean, I put a lot of effort into it and I'm pretty good at blocking out my schedule in terms of like just what I want to accomplish each day. But I don't think I've needed to put a full-time job, worth of work into being a successful student. Now, obviously everyone has a different view of what makes you a successful student, but I wanted to test this out. So I'm gonna start small. I'm just gonna start with a part-time job. So I wanna see what it's like to just put the hours of a part-time work into school to see how I do, and then maybe I'll like work my way up to, what if I work a full-time job? I don't know. We're gonna see what happens. I don't really know exactly when it'll start or how many hours I want to work, but we're about to find out. So as it turns out, it's actually way harder to find statistics on how many hours a part-time job is, because I expected it to be super simple. I literally just looked up, what's the average amount of hours per week that a part-time job requires. So they can go be like, 20, 21, 20, like they have to have at least some sort of labor statistic on what Americans work. It seems pretty simple, but it was impossible. All I found was that it just said, part-time workers, are required to work less than 35 hours a week. So it basically said part-time workers aren't full-time workers. It gave me nothing. So I kind of have to just use personal experience here. I worked a part-time job over the summer a couple of years ago, and I was working up to like 25 to 28 hours a week. It was over the summer, it was not during school. But I also know people who worked, part-time jobs who could, work maybe 10, sometimes even 4 hours a week. So it's an extremely large scale. But I mean, it makes sense. Part-time jobs are a very specific part of the workforce, and they're usually meant for like, pretty niche jobs and for teenagers and stuff like that. So I decided on the number 15. Now, 15 hours a week on school is literally nothing compared to what some other people do. So I'm gonna stick with 15. It's super small. Because I don't want to overscale myself yet. And that's probably about what I'm averaging so far. So I'm gonna try 15 hours, and if that works out, which it most likely will, I would probably have to try really hard to work less than 15 hours. But I'm gonna try 15 hours, and then from there I'll move on. We'll see what happens. Who knows? Maybe I'll just end up with like 80 hours a week, working on school. I know that this was inspired by a video that I saw that was about, I think, someone working 100 hours in 1 week. They were like a med student, and they posted it on YouTube. I thought it was super cool, so I wanted to try it out myself, except I'm doing about a 10th of that. I'm gonna do 15. So I'm going to start tomorrow. I decided that because we need some qualifications on what this is going to handle, which I'm about to get into, but it officially starts at 10:45 a.m. tomorrow, which will be November 3rd, Election Day. So it'll start on 10:45 at Election Day for me, and that is going to be when I start. Now, there are specifics to it that I wanted to decide. It's not going to count when I'm actually in class, whether it be in Teams or in person, because I just don't think that's realistic, and I don't think that's what the statistic was referring to. Also, it's not going to be other types of work. Like, for example, I do captioning and typistry, is that a word? I don't know. For a website called Rev, where I basically just caption videos and I get paid for it, but that's like that's not related to school. And even if it was an extracurricular, for example, I'm in the rock climbing club, I'm not gonna count that either. That's not a class, it's related to the college, but it isn't an actual thing. This is specifically going to be outside work for a class that I'm enrolled in. So that's going to be what the 15 hours consist of, starting at 10:45 tomorrow, and I will see you then. So like I said, I plan on starting with 15 hours just to start off, just to see what happens. Right now I'm gonna be working on philosophy a bit. It'll take roughly half an hour, so nothing too exciting. Probably have some bigger chunks later today, and yeah, that is that. So I just finished half an hour of philosophy, so it's definitely a small start, but we're getting somewhere. It's at least started, and now it's just about continuing. All right, I'm about to head to the library. I just finished my workout. Next, I'll finally get good chunks of work in, which will definitely help the 15-hour work week. I'm gonna be working on accounting in the library. It's gonna be sick. See you there. All right, so I just finished 2 hours of accounting, which is great. But the problem is I'm running into that nighttime motivation thing where I just need to make sure that I pull through and complete the blocks, and I don't just randomly be like, well, I could just do that tomorrow, blah, 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 blah. And it's this really weird sense of lack of motivation, but I just need to, get it done. And so, but it's good. I got 2 hours done of accounting, which is nice. And next I'm gonna get sociology also out of the way just so that I have many things done before I have dinner. Then I'm gonna eat, finish out some philosophy. And yeah, so we're about to update the 15-hour work week. All right, and so I just finished an hour of sociology. I bit into the 15-hour work week. It was definitely not a uniform one. I had to move so much. I had to go to grab my notebook, then the library closed, so I had to move. Then I had to order food. So it was basically just a ton of few-minute segments, but eventually it all added up to an hour. After that, now I'm going to eat dinner, and after that, I cannot even speak. I'm going to work on philosophy paper I have to do for tomorrow, and it's going to be I'm already, I'd say a third in, or I will be a third in by the time I finish the paper to the work week, and we're just in one day. So, like I said, 15 hours is nothing compared to some students, but I'm already, getting a good chunk of it done, and I will see you there. All right, so I did just finish my philosophy work. Definitely worked on it a lot more than I thought I would. I actually submitted 2 essays instead, and I don't have to work on any of them tomorrow anyway. So I'm already more than a third of the way in one day. So definitely a very specific day. I don't know how this definitely compares differently compared to some of the other weeks I've had in terms of school. I expected this to be a very slow process and a pretty big commitment, but it's really not. But I guess we will see what happens, and I will see you tomorrow. I've arrived at the library. I almost forgot to film my update. We're about to work on math. Definitely an interesting day in terms of blocks. We're gonna see what happens. I hope that I complete them all. And it's just, I'm running into this, biggest challenge today is the power trip. And I know that I could just move something to tomorrow if I needed to, but should I? How far should it work? How does time work? Basically everything. But long story short, right now we're here to work on math. It'll probably take an hour or two, which will hit it out. 15-hour work week is going really well, and so that is that. I just finished math at the library. Spent about 2.5 hours on it, so that bumped up my 15-hour work week to literally over a half already, and it's been less than 2 days. I picked a very interesting week to do this in a very interesting amount because I am literally technically closer to being done than starting, and it's been less than 2 days. Honestly, that's probably the most interesting part of this video. What up again? Quick update to the 15-hour work week. I've been working on, so I just got back from a philosophy teams meeting for class, and I also took my sociology quiz, which I did really well on, because it turns out I just found a Quizlet online for it. It was way easier than I thought it'd be. I'm actually not putting any time on the 15-hour work week for that, because I don't really fully know how much time I spent on the sociology test. I did a good amount of reading, but it wasn't enough that I wanted to put that. Plus, I've been fucking surging on it way more than I thought I would. I don't know. I just don't really feel the need to implement it, especially now that it's already done. I might as well implement that time in other things now that I'm already surging on the 15-hour work week. Long story short, I'm not updating anything. I'm just continuing. My next thing will most likely be math because I have a quiz tomorrow, which is going to be great. Yeah, that's about that. I am being 100% serious when I say that I chose the weirdest week to do this. I mean, not only am I flying through this thing faster than I ever thought I would, I definitely had more work this week than I've had before. I have definitely gone for it's one of two things. It's either I work way more than I thought I did, or I just so happened to choose a week where I was doing a ton of work. I don't get it how I've flown through so many hours of this work week. It's insane. But quick update on math. I just got that done. I'm also not going to put it in the work week because, again, I've said a billion times, I'm flying through it. But also, I just did a problem. I wanted to make sure that I understood it for the quiz tomorrow, and I didn't really need to do that much. It was a good, nice little check off, but there's nothing much to it. This hair, man. Anyway, today's been a weird day. It's been fighting obstacles about structure and organizing my day. I just finished one earlier. I had a small little, goal set that I wanted to achieve. I, set it for, I think, October 31st. But now I'm kind of in this middle ground where I want to know what I'm rushing towards, where what I'm doing next. And it's hard to find that. It's a really hard thing. But motivation and structure are definitely my biggest things right now that I want to keep pushing towards. But the work week's going well because like I said, I'm over over half of the way through, and it's been 2 days. So like I have 5 days to get what, 7 hours of work done that I've already done, in 2 days. Like it's insane. It's been such a wild past 2 days with so many successes and so many obstacles. I mean, it's insane. It's a good week to document it. So I will see you in the next one. What's up? I don't know if I've recorded an update vid since yesterday. So today is a bit of oh my god. What's up? I don't know if I've recorded an update vid since yesterday, so today was a bit of a breakdown day. I had to get up early, which I hate, but whatever. And so pretty much all I've done so far is gone to class and taken a math quiz, which I'm not counting on the 15-hour work week because, like I've said a billion times, I'm surging through it. But also, I don't really know if I would count a quiz in general. It's not really outside work, even though I'm technically doing it outside of class. It's kind of its own thing. It's just a quiz. So far nothing much has happened. Definitely hours are going to get done today in terms of the work week, just because I planned out today very meticulously. Because what went wrong yesterday is I planned a lot and I assumed that I could just do it. Like I put time frames that seemed reasonable, but just in the grand scheme of life, at least at my current level, just weren't really achievable. So what I did is I just blocked it out very reasonably. I have big chunks of time for pretty much only one class to do today. It's definitely achievable, and I'm definitely going to get a lot of hours in for it. So who knows? Maybe I'll just finish this thing halfway through the week. But that is the current update. I also haven't recorded any B-roll shots yet, so I might as well, because this video is while it is weird, is it's kind of required that if you do a work week video or one of these college videos, you have to include B-roll shots of your campus. It's a required thing. So I'm gonna record a few, and I'll probably put hip hop in the background or something like that. So that's about to happen. I hate vlogging so much. I don't know. This is the last time I will ever do this. We are back at the library for accounting. I've eaten and meditated so far. I still haven't updated the work week note card so far, which is interesting, but I mean, it makes sense. This is going to be the first lengthy thing that I do today, and it's going to be lengthy. I mean, I'm going to put, roughly 6 hours of work today into accounting, which is, that'll literally, if I have any other things that I do, besides accounting, that will push the work week, I could finish it today. That is insane to me. And you know what? That's inspiring, because now I could do the 20-hour work week, the 25-hour. I hate this here, man. The 40-hour work week, and eventually maybe I'll, be a senior and work maybe up to 100 or something like that. We'll see what happens, but we're here for accounting. I will update you later. The way that today was structured is completely different than it has been before. What it used to be, or what I was running into previously, was I would put a ton of blocks right after each other, thinking that it would create a drive to constantly keep up and do these blocks, and that would be my motivation. But the problem was it eventually just became a to-do list. I hated the times of it, I hated, the thought of losing time, and eventually I just stopped paying attention to what time each block was supposed to start. It would be math, 1:30, and then I'd be starting at 5. It got to the point where it was just a to-do list. It was just all of the blocks with their times, but all I would see is just what they were and needing to get it done. And it's good that I got it done, but the whole point of blocking out a schedule is that you have time slots for everything and you have a nice flow to your day. And so it defeats the point if you don't follow the times. So what I did today is I created very big time buffers for all of my subjects. I actually only had one subject to work on today. Obviously I could have worked on more if I really wanted to, but there isn't a whole lot to do today. That was a hard thing to accept because, college. I really only had one thing to do today. I created really big time buffers for everything, and I've been staying on track. It's great having time back. It's great being able to stay on track of the schedule and not have, this gigantic to-do list that pushes until 4 a.m. So that's the good part. The only thing is I'm saving a lot of time. So as I said in the previous clip, I just went to work on accounting thinking I'd be there for a couple of hours and then skid right down to my, half an hour to an hour appointment. What that actually ended up being is 1 hour of work for accounting, an entire hour to myself. Then I just had my lead appointment that I thought it was going to be 1 hour. Then I made a daring move and moved it to 30 minutes. It was 10 minutes long. I've had so much time. Now, that's a good thing. I'm not going to take that for granted. I specifically scheduled so that this would happen. And on top of that, I used Rev, the captioning website that you can get paid for to caption videos. So I just made $1.65 because of the extra time. So it's great, but it's just different than I expected. I expected to work on accounting 2 hours, I worked on it 1. I expected to have it half an hour. You get the point. So I'm saving time, it's great. I'm not gonna put any negative to it because that would, destroy the point. Today's been amazing. Especially considering that I literally got, I think, 3 hours of sleep last night. It's insane. But today's been good. I had a nice schedule, a good time buffer, like I keep saying. And the flow's been nice. It's just been different than it has before. But it is really good, and I wanna keep that up. Obviously, when I need to really push myself, I'll do that, and I'll find motivation for it. But this has been really good, and I'm gonna keep this in mind, because I'd rather have a nice flow to my day that's gonna lead into the structure I create. So, long story short, time, big. So next I'm gonna have to go work out. That won't count as part of the work week. My next thing is still accounting, and so I'll be working on accounting soon. And I will see you there. All right, and I'm done working out, and I just took my walk. So what's happening now is I finally get to work on the work week again. I'm gonna be working on accounting again. Today's basically just accounting day. I have to work on some videos and some lectures, and then there's the homework tonight, and then that's pretty much, well, there's the exam tomorrow. But that's pretty much it. What I have a feeling is gonna happen is that I'm literally gonna finish the work week, within this time slot just with accounting, which I don't wanna say is annoying, it's just weird. I did not, like I've said a million times, I did not expect this to go by so quickly. I picked a really weird week to do it. I've already said that. Long story short, working on accounting, and I will see you soon. All right, first portion of accounting is done. I'm headed to dinner now. I've gotten to the point where I'm like on schedule now, which is weird. I guess it's expected because like life is life. And I'm glad that I blocked it out that way because all of a sudden I'm like very on schedule. It's like 7:07, I think. And I'm scheduled for dinner from 7 to 8:30. So there's that. Yeah, so everything's doing fine. I got an hour and 40 minutes. We're officially in that level of fraction of the 15-hour work week. We're almost done. Exactly 4 hours and 20 minutes away, which if I really wanted to, I could just finish it now, but I'm not going to. I'm completing the blocks. I have a feeling it's gonna be just under today, and then tomorrow I'm gonna get it like that, which is weird that it's already gonna be done. I don't even know if I'm gonna end this video that early. Well, I will. I'll end it once I hit the 15-hour work week. Just got a lot of that done, and yeah, see you in the next one. I don't know, nothing too exciting. And accounting is done. So that is it for today. I am literally an hour and 20 minutes away from finishing the 15-hour work week that I set out days and days and days to do. And it's been what? When did I even start this? I think literally 2 days ago. It's been 2.5 days, and I finished the entire thing. This has been such a weird week, but whatever, I've said that enough. We did just finish that. The day was really good. The day was blocked out really good. Blocking out extra time buffers worked really well. Obviously I can't do that every day because there's days where I'm just gonna need to crank out stuff. But it worked really well today, and it came to the exact dot. In fact, you could technically argue oh, you didn't give enough time, but that's just margin of error, that's just life. It literally got down to the point where it's I was finishing the exact assignment at the minute that it was due. And so if you think about it, all of those blocks and times that I blocked out added exactly to the moment that they were supposed to stop. So it was perfect, it was a perfect day. So today, yes, was a very productive day. I have 13 hours and 40 minutes of the work week done already. And yeah, we are flying by. I will see you tomorrow when I finish this thing off already. What is up? So I don't think I've recorded an update video today yet. So basically today is a very interesting day compared to yesterday. Yesterday was a success, by the way. Yesterday was great. I finished out my schedule. I don't really know what the last video I made about yesterday was, but I finished out the blocks. Everything was on time. It was great. It was a successful day. Today's interesting. It isn't as meticulously time buffered as yesterday, but it also isn't very academic intensive. It's very social. Just in terms of block-wise, it's weird for the 15-hour work. I did some studying with a friend, but I'm not going to count that as a block. I also have rock climbing club and then hanging out with someone afterwards, so it's a pretty social day, which is interesting, but there's still academic blocks blocked in, so it's very mixed. It is still blocked out though, and that's all that matters. I have blocks out, and I'm very close to finishing the work week anyway. Pretty simple day. After I woke up, I studied with someone else for accounting. I took the exam, so all of that work that I did on the work week in accounting has now been put to work in the exam, which is finally done. So now it's pretty chill. The weekend is mostly just for my business analytics class. That'll be exciting, though it won't. It's gonna be interesting. So there will be that. Yeah, nothing. It's a pretty simple day, so I'll still film as much as I can. Pretty simple day. So yeah, overall, it's a pretty simple day. I'm still going to complete all the blocks and I'm still going to film them too, and I will see you in the next one. And I also didn't mention what I'm doing right now. So now that I'm done with accounting, which has pretty much been the majority of my day so far, I have a sociology blog. I'm going to be working on an essay for that. I'm going to get a discussion post done. That'll be a very small chunk, but I have a 20-minute chunk of the 15-hour work week to get done, just so that the circles are whole, honestly. I can get a 20-minute chunk done of that. There was structure work done yesterday, by the way. I did block out that, which was nice. But in terms of right now, it's sociology, and then I leave for the club, and then my next block isn't until late at night when I work on the analytics class. So see you there. I've been completing the blocks, which is nice. I just gotta complete this one, and we will be done. So yeah, I will see you in there. And the business analytics block is done. So what I originally planned on is having 3 separate assignments to do on 3 separate days, as opposed to just cramming it all before my exam. And I completed that. I completed my first block today, which is good. It took way longer than expected because there was like a small error that went wrong, and then I fixed it, but then a different small error went wrong, and then like I had to fix both of them, and it just like there was like small stuff, but I kept going, and yeah, I just kept persevering, and I eventually got 100% on the assignment. So that block is finally done, which is good, and the day is now done. And so yeah, there isn't really anything left to do in terms of the schedule. And yeah, so it was a successful day. I completed all the blocks, and tomorrow I'll just want to do the same thing. I want to keep accomplishing. I actually just finished the 15-hour work week, so there's that. I'm still going to record a second update video, maybe just like a nice conclusion. But that was definitely more than an hour. And so there you go. The 15-hour work week has been completed. And that is the 15-hour work week. It is done. I just finished it, and it was great. I started this thing just from videos that I had seen on YouTube of like productivity YouTubers making videos about how they manage their time, how many hours they work in a week, and I was just very inspired by that stuff. And so I created my own very spontaneously, and it was great. It was a great success because it really helped me stay motivated in this time where I'm kind of like in this transitional period between 2 different ways I want to structure my life, and it kept me motivated to do stuff that I might not have otherwise done, and it gave me a reason to keep going. And yeah, again, happened way quicker. Was it? The ironic thing, I've said the word 15-hour work week so much, it was the 15-hour work like half week. Like it legit might not have even gotten to the half week point. Like it is so weird that I decided to start this in a time where I didn't even where I worked way more than that. It's for one of 2 reasons. It's either I work way more than I thought I did, or I just chose a really weird week to do this. But regardless, it was a success. I have no problems with finishing something like that early. And yeah, this very spontaneous adventure is done. But that's just this one. I might see you in the next one where maybe I work a full-time job worth. Maybe I work 100 hours. I don't know. We're gonna see what happens. I will see you in the next one. Peace out.